One of the most sought-after players this summer is free agent Christian Eriksen. Reports just 24 hours ago suggested that Man United not having Champions League football was not a deal breaker and that he is giving serious consideration to the offer. Some reports have emerged across social media that Manchester United have been picked. Manchester United are the team. Manchester United are the next destination. There are also further reports, though, that he will not be joining Manchester United. The Athletic report that he is more than likely to want to stay in London and that it's a direct battle between Brentford and Spurs for his signature. So it's been an interesting 17 hours or so in the pursuit of Christian Eriksen. Are Man United still in the race? Are they out of it? You've got the likes of Ducker from the Telegraph that are fairly confident Man United are in this race. There are some that believe it's almost over and he's staying in London. What do you think and feel? We're going to delve into this in a lot more detail for you. An update on it as well from Fabrizio Romano. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. Let's go. Fabrizio Romano told Give Me Sport that with Christian Eriksen, they have had a conversation, a direct discussion with his agent a few days ago. They discussed about the potential contract, so it's possible, but Tottenham and Brentford are also pushing for him to go next season. That is what Fabrizio Romano told Give Me Sport and the world about the pursuit of Christian Eriksen. Now, Manchester United fans do not feel confident about this. Manchester United fans feel as though it's a bit of a long shot. Dean Jones told everybody on the Football Terrace 3 weeks ago now that Christian Eriksen is highly likely to pick Tottenham if they are in for him. Now, what's very, very intriguing is the news that's come out today from The Athletic that it will not be Manchester United. According to The Athletic, who claim the experienced midfielder has snubbed the chance of joining Erik ten Hag after returning to the Premier League just over 6 months ago. It says, following a spell after suffering cardiac arrest, Eriksen has done exceptionally well to prove he has still got what it takes to play in England's top flight. But The Athletic are now reporting that the deal to Manchester United is dead. There are other kind of transfer journalists and transfer specialists out there, some of which really do divide opinion in terms of their credibility, are claiming that Manchester United have got this deal. I put the wrong one up there. This deal wrapped up and he's going to pick Man United. Of course, James Ducker, and the timeline is full of interesting stuff when you actually go through here. You just put Eriksen's name in, all the differences. You've got James Ducker just, a few hours ago stating that it's understood that Man United's interest in Christian Eriksen is tied to what happens with Frankie, isn't tied to what happens with Frankie de Jong. It's a completely separate deal that Manchester United they're chasing, as an example. And it was only a couple of days ago that they said that Spurs haven't even made an official offer for him as of yet. So I'm not too sure whether to believe that at this point, and listen, I'm just giving you an opinion based on the story that's coming out. I don't necessarily think that he's made his mind up yet. The reason that I say that is because Tottenham haven't even made an official bid. They haven't made a bid contract offer to Eriksen at this moment in time. That offer hasn't gone in. So he may have already said no to Man United, irrespective of what comes in from Tottenham. But let's just say the offer from Brentford, he hasn't accepted as of yet. The reports that he went out and had a meal fairly recently with Tony Frank. He's Tony Frank, isn't it? The manager of Brentford. I'm sitting here and saying that, and I'm like, they should put in Brentford manager. Why do I want to say Tony? Thomas. That's what I knew. You say a name and you're like, I swear that's wrong. Well, I couldn't work it out. Thomas Frank. There's reports that he went out for a meal with him. There's reports that he could look to stay there. But the reason why I'm just not 100% buying this notion that he's rejected Manchester United at this point. Equally, I'm not going as far as to say that he's agreed to join us. I think that may be a little bit presumptuous as well. Is Spurs haven't made their official bid, so I don't think he's gonna move offers off the table until he's got all the offers in. Does that make sense? Like, there's no point rejecting Man United. We know that he doesn't want to move abroad. The word is he wants to stay in England. And yeah, he might have a preference to stay in London, but if he was really happy to stay at Brentford, he'd just accept whatever they've offered him, but he hasn't as of yet. He's waiting on Tottenham. But if Tottenham don't come in, Man United is still going to be an option. So you look at the body of reports on this in the past 4 or 5 days from Fabrizio Romano. You've got James Ducker from The Telegraph, as we've mentioned. Even David Ornstein, who's given 2 fairly detailed updates on Eriksen to Manchester United in the past week. None of them have come out and said it's off, it's over, it's finished. However, as I've said all along, I completely and utterly believe that Spurs is his desired destination. And if and when Spurs make that official offer, I think he will accept it. But it's an if and a when. The fact that Spurs haven't offered it yet tells you they're deliberating. They're looking at other targets. And this is the situation as it works. And this is quite an interesting deal for football fans to handle in many ways, because what I've noticed across social media in this past 2 to 3 weeks is the landscape has changed for transfers from a fan point of view. They don't actually like the idea. It's almost like they don't like the idea of winning races for players anymore, because what they actually want is to spin a narrative that he was only ever interested in our club. Look how important, look how great we are. When in reality, we know this because the transfer experts tell us, the professional, credible journalists tell us this, agents tell us this, players tell us this. The players tend to tell us much after the fact that they often agree terms with 2 or 3 different teams. I wouldn't be surprised if he agrees to what Man United offer him. Go, oh, I like that. That's a good deal. Yeah, I'll be willing to sign for that. That won't be a problem if I indeed decide to sign for Manchester United. But there certainly is a race on here. My personal feeling as of now, because there hasn't been enough reports saying United are out of this race, I still think that United have got a chance, but Tottenham, 100% the front runners. Now, what's interesting as well when you look at all of this is that it has been reported by Laurie Whitworth, of course, Danny Devlin in the details shared this, that Ten Hag is said to be getting a little bit frustrated. He is said to understand that United's budgetary constraints of around 120 million. Danny goes on to say here that I pray the penny will drop within the Man United fan base. You're moaning because the sporting director is working within a budget. And that's what needs to be focused on here. Like, Ten Hag may very well be getting frustrated because he wants these deals done. He wants them over the line. But if it is indeed true that we're working to this £120 million budget, you have to become patient and understand that Man United, it's going to take time for Man United to get these deals done. Clubs are going to try and make us pay as much as possible because we've been bent over a barrel. And we've done awful work for a decade now in the transfer window. We are a laughing stock to a lot of clubs. We overpay and undersell. And we've been doing that for a long, long time. Ten Hag is maybe becoming a little bit frustrated. But this is the nature of the beast when you're doing what we're doing, which is, awful word again, there's a brand new rebuild. Manchester United are moving back in another direction. And it is frustrating for people. It is annoying for people. Nobody wants to be in that situation, in that circumstance. As already stated, it's there, it's clear, it's to be seen that, Laurie Whitwell was a very credible Manchester United journalist. I'm not going to stand here and act like he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm not going to stand here and act like he isn't, very good at what he does. There could very well be some frustration from the new Manchester United manager. But this is what's going to happen in and around this rebuild. It's as simple and as straightforward as that. And I don't think it's something that you can actually get yourself away from, because we have got to restructure. We have got to reestablish ourselves as being powerful and strong on the negotiation table. And that's going to take time. Man United are around about 10 million euros away from agreeing a price for Frankie de Jong. But that 10 million euro savings, what's that, 7-8 million pounds? That 7-8 million pounds is needed for other deals. Now, remember, it keeps being reported 120, 130 budget for Manchester United. And everyone's like panicking. But that's because you haven't factored in the money that's going to be raised through players leaving and the sale of individuals. Equally, Manchester United typically pay their transfers in installments, like the vast majority of teams, by the way. Therefore, the £120 million budget, you're not going to use £70 million for Frankie de Jong. You're not going to pay £70 million up front. Very unlikely that you will part with that much cash in one singular transaction. He'll sign a 5-year, maybe even a 6-year deal at Manchester United, and that cost will be spread. Man United will pay a fraction. Generally, they'll divide it by 5, divide it by 6, and they will pay that. So 12 to 15, maybe they'll do a larger lump sum up front. That's what the situation seems to be with Frankie de Jong. They want a larger, people keep saying guaranteed amount. That isn't true. They want a larger first installment because all the money is guaranteed because football clubs are secured creditors, which means it doesn't matter what happens, you're going to get your money at some point. You're a secured creditor. And it's one of those things for me where I feel sort of like United fans have got to develop a thick skin here. Man United fans have got to learn to take the banter on the chin. And we go back to the Christian Eriksen deal. It could be painful. He could pick Tottenham over us. But it isn't because Man United don't have Paul. It isn't because Manchester United are not a big club. It isn't because Manchester United don't have a good project to look at. People choose things based on personal reasons. And with everything that Eriksen has gone through, his family are happy back in London. He would love to go back to a club that he has familiarity with. And I think that it's nothing to do with Man United not having Paul. It's about where he wants to be in his life. And of course, his head's turned and he's given serious consideration to Man United. I don't think that's changed from Friday evening until Saturday. I don't think he's made that decision. And equally, I don't think he's made that decision and told The Athletic. I think The Athletic are picking up on what people like Dean Jones have been talking about, the likelihood, and I've kind of gone with that. And that's not a dig. That's just my interpretation, you know. And so, you know, the transfer window is fluid, as always said. The fact he is considering Manchester United, but fans have got to understand this is a new world. There's a lot of powerful clubs out there. There's a lot of reasons why people would not pick us. At the same time, we are working to a budget. We haven't worked to a budget before. We overspend all the time. But overspending, people keep, one of the biggest fallacies in football is this. One of the biggest fallacies I come across is, well, it isn't my money. I don't care how much a player costs. It's a ridiculous way to look at it. It really is. If you just say every summer, you overspend by an average £5 million a signing and you sell under 5 million, and coming in and going out, 10 people. Do the math. You're essentially, you're essentially burning £50 million. So the logic of I don't care how much we spend is this. Well, yeah, we spent 100 million, there's 50 million left. But what we're going to do with that remaining 50 million is go into the car park at Old Trafford and burn it. You wouldn't be happy with that, would you? That's the same difference when you overspend and undersell. So we need to be prudent here. And Man United fans have got to get with the program. There's a reason that Liverpool get such high transfer fees for players they sell. There's a reason that Liverpool get such great prices for players they buy. Their negotiators are brilliant, but they're strong and they're resolute and they've got a reputation of that. And they don't get taken for mugs. Daniel Levy has become that when it becomes to selling players. If you want one of my players, you're going to pay big, big bucks. That's why some of these clubs have great net spend. It's not something I focus on or think is particularly important. But literally, Man United could buy the same talent ID and profile of player for the next 5 years as we did in the previous 5. But if we spend the right money on transfer fees and sell at the right price, the net spend would look so much better than it currently does. And for some reason, fans seem to love that. So if you want that really good net spend that everybody buzzes off, then grow a backbone and some chest and accept the fact that some of these deals are going to take a little bit longer to get done. Listen, people, I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. Smash that like and that share button. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless.